I bet you've experienced this. You're in the kitchen and you've got a clear mission. Go and grab that tea your child got you last night. You push off the counter, walk down the hall, step through the bedroom doorway, and nothing. Gone. Whatever you came for has completely vanished from your mind. You're standing there, slightly annoyed, thinking, what is wrong with me? And then comes that quiet, creeping fear, the one nobody talks about out loud. Is this short-term memory loss? Is this early dementia? Is this just me now? I want you to stop right there, because what just happened to you has almost nothing to do with aging and almost everything to do with your door frame. That's not a metaphor. That is literal, measurable, brain-level physics. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to beat it. If we're just meeting, my name is Joanne. I am a health educator, and my entire focus is helping women over 60 navigate the real biology of aging. Around here, we don't accept you are just getting older as an answer. We find the mechanics. And the mechanics of this glitch start right in your hallway. Here's what researchers at the University of Notre Dame discovered, and it's one of those findings that makes you go, of course, the moment you hear it. In the research, Radvansky explains that entering or exiting through a doorway serves as an event boundary in the mind, which separates episodes of activity and files them away. Your brain does not process your home as one continuous space. It processes it as a series of separate environments. And the border between those environments is the doorway. Every single door frame you walk through acts as what is called an event boundary, a hard stop, a line in the sand that tells your brain, old world over, new world starting. When you cross that threshold, your mind takes whatever you were just doing, separates that episode of activity, and actually files it away into a mental compartment. It has nothing to do with how far you walked. You can walk that exact same distance across a large living room and remember everything perfectly. But the second you step through a doorway, the brain compartmentalizes the old room's data. That is why recalling your original mission suddenly becomes difficult. This is where hippocampal friction comes in. The hippocampus is the part of your brain that manages short-term memory and spatial navigation. Think of it as your internal GPS. It holds the mental map of your house. And when this GPS senses you've crossed an event boundary, it does something that would seem reasonable if you were a computer. It dumps the short-term cache. Think of your browser, closing multiple tabs at once to free up memory for the next task. Your hippocampus is doing the exact same thing the moment your foot crosses your doorway. It is preparing for the new environment by clearing out the data from the old one. That intention you carried across the hall, it was stored as short-term, low-priority data, and the hippocampus, trying to be helpful, let it go. I want you to really sit with that for a second. That memory wasn't destroyed by a failing brain. It was intentionally archived by your brain as it was trying to save energy. The glitch isn't a weakness. It's actually evidence of a system working hard. Now, here's where it gets personal. A few years ago, a woman I know, Susan, told me she'd started taking a notepad with her from room to room. She laughed when she said it, but there was real embarrassment underneath. She was 66. She couldn't understand why this had suddenly gotten so much worse. She'd always been sharp. She still was. But these moments were multiplying. She wasn't imagining it. I told her to put the notepad away. We sat down, and I explained that she wasn't losing her edge. Her brain was just operating under a new set of rules. I taught her a simple physical trick, the exact same threshold bypass protocol I am going to show you in a few minutes. Within a week, she stopped carrying the paper. But to understand why that trick works, we had to look at what was happening beneath the surface. The event boundary effect is a universal human experience, but for women over 60, there's a biological multiplier layered on top of it. and it's one of the least discussed aspects of healthy aging in women. It comes down to estrogen. Estrogen isn't just a reproductive hormone. It plays a significant role in how the brain processes and prioritizes spatial memory. Estrogen helps support the hippocampal networks that hold on to short-term spatial information, exactly the kind of information an event boundary tends to wipe. So, when estrogen levels drop significantly after menopause, the brain may undergo what is described as a post-menopausal neurological shift. The shift doesn't damage intelligence, it doesn't touch long-term memory, but it may make the hippocampus less sticky when it comes to holding short-term spatial intentions under pressure. So here's what's actually happening in that doorframe. Two things are firing at once. The doorframe is telling your hippocampus to clear its cache, and the post-menopausal neurological shift may have already made that cache harder to hold. The doorway plus the biology combine to produce that 30-second blank. This is a mechanical sequence. So if you've not been diagnosed of any health condition that can cause short-term memory loss, then this could be the reason you are getting forgetful. What you're experiencing in that doorframe, that is a context switch, and there is a way through it. Now I'll show you how to beat that glitch. I call it the threshold bypass protocol. This is a 3-step system designed to work with how your brain processes event boundaries instead of fighting it. Each step targets a different memory circuit, and using them together significantly increases the chance that your intention survives the crossing. Step 1. The grip technique. Before you move toward any doorway, pick up something physical that is associated with your task. Going to the bathroom to get the ibuprofen, hold an empty medicine cup. Heading to the bedroom to get your phone charger, carry the phone itself, maybe the dead phone or the cord, just something tangible and related to your mission. Here's why this might work for you. Your brain uses completely different circuits to feel a physical object in your hand than it uses to navigate a room. That physical sensation acts as an anchor. So when your hippocampus tries to dump your short-term cache at the doorframe, the physical feeling in your hand bypasses the wipe. It essentially physically carries your intention across the threshold. Step 2. The verbal anchor. As you step through the doorframe, not before, not after, exactly as you are about to cross it, say your intention out loud. Even a whisper works. I'm getting my glasses. I need the charger. I'm turning off the light. Many people find this effective, and the science behind it is straightforward. Speaking engages your auditory processing system, which operates on a separate memory pathway from your navigation system. When you vocalize an intention at the exact moment of threshold crossing, you may be creating a second, parallel memory trace in a circuit the hippocampal wipe doesn't touch. You're essentially saving the same file to 2 different drives at once. Step 3. The visual rewind. If you've done the first 2 steps and the glitch still happens, and sometimes it will, don't stand there trying to force the memory back. That effort usually pushes it further away. Instead, do this. Turn around, walk back through the doorway, go back to the exact spot where you first formed the intention, the kitchen counter where your coffee cup was sitting, the couch where you were folding laundry. All these details, they can act as retrieval keys. Re-exposing your brain to those cues often retrieves the intention within seconds. The rule is strict. Go back to the exact spot, not nearby, that exact location. So, that's it. I've just given you what you need to beat that 30-second glitch. The threshold bypass protocol gives you 3 tools to work with. The grip technique stores your intention in your hands, the verbal anchor copies it into your auditory circuit, and the visual rewind uses your environment to pull back anything that slipped through. You are not losing your mind. Your brain is just reacting to a physical trigger in its environment, and your biology may be making that reaction slightly more pronounced than it was 20 years ago. That's a mechanism, and mechanisms can be worked around. This is why I've informed you about this, not to pretend these things don't happen, but understanding why they happen well enough to do something about it. Now, if you found this useful, I want you to check out the video on your screen right now. It's called How to Reduce Brain Fog, a 24-hour reset after 60. Here's why that's exactly where to go next. What we covered today handles the sudden, sharp 30-second spatial glitch, but many women over 60 also describe something different. They feel a slower, all-day heaviness in their thinking, a kind of mental fatigue that builds and builds. That video covers a specific 24-hour protocol designed to help clear out that lingering cognitive load. The glitch at the doorway is a sprint. What that video covers is the marathon. Both matter. Click the screen and I'll see you over there.